Hello, my fellow necromancers. So today, Diablo Immortal has a new update. They sneakily went back and updated their roadmap to hell. Look at this. If you scroll down, look at global launch now. There's some new lines here. Let's read it. As we prepare for Diablo Immortal on June 2nd, 10 a.m. PDT, that is the global launch, meaning all platforms, all servers. Some players will see Immortal propagate on the Apple App Store and Google Play beginning the morning of June 1st PDT. What does this mean? If you're a PC player and you're trying to get access on PC only early, for whatever reason you do not have a phone, then you're probably going to need to use an emulator to get in one day earlier. However, if you're on just a mobile device as intended, these mobile devices will be available up to a full 24 hours earlier. Now, we know this is off PD time, and they said beginning of the morning PDT. They were going to launch this at 10 a.m. PDT June 2nd, but now they're saying the morning June 1st for mobile devices only. Okay, so the Battle.net pre-download that we all have won't launch till June 2nd, 10 a.m. PDT. That's a hard time. Okay, they control that. That's their launcher. However, they do not control the App Store and Google Play Store launch times. Apple and Google are the ones that are going to be saying when those servers come online. What they said in the Q&A is that the servers will be online and sitting there waiting for basically Apple and the Google Store to connect everyone to it. And once they do, then you're going to have a live connection. What does this mean for the average person? You want to be ready and waiting with your phone the morning of June 1st PDT. PDT, 10 a.m. LA time was when it was supposed to launch June 2nd. We're saying the morning of PDT. So Los Angeles time, anytime before noon. LA time, I would be expecting this to launch, and that would be 8 p.m. London time, sometime before then, 4 a.m. Korea time, sometime before then. And again, this is on June 1st for only, I will say this one more time, only mobile players, and then June 2nd, that full PC launch will be happening. There's one other thing I'm seeing where people are wondering when the rest of the servers will be launching. That's June 22nd, Hong Kong, Indonesia, Macau, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore, Taiwan, and Thailand, all launching June 22nd. Okay, there's one other question I'm seeing, which is how do I get crossplay to go? And again, I've said this a million times in a million different videos. In order to have Battle.net crossplay work, when you're launching on your phone, you're going to need to log in with your Battle.net on your phone. You can also do it later if you use a guest account, then you can go to the settings and log in with Battle.net. Wyatt's been very explicit about that, letting us all know that you can do it at a later point too if you need to, but you have to sync those accounts, and it's heavily important on June 1st when you make it. Just make it with the Battle.net, so that way when June 2nd rolls around the next day, you can log in with your PC and be ready. Now, they mentioned servers. They didn't give us a capacity on the number of players, but they told us how servers are going to work. When it is 80% capacity, it's going to give you a green circle and as a recommended server. Once it goes above 80% capacity, it's going to change to more of a red colored circle when it gets closer to the fall. If you're wondering what server we're going to be on, Storm Shield for the West and Greed for the East. However, that's for our clan. I'm sure it's going to get fuller up, so you might actually want to avoid, so this is your warning, if you're not going to be part of the clan and you're wanting to avoid lots of hardcore competition, you might want to avoid Storm Shield and Greed, in particular, Greed being on East and Storm Shield being on West. Another question I'm seeing is from our folks over in India, wondering if India itself is going to have a server. I don't see anywhere listing in any of these that India has their own server. You're going to have to find and play on the nearest region to you, unfortunately, my friends from India. Here are your minimum requirements. If you're iOS, you need iOS 11 and at least a 6S or newer. If you're Android, you're looking at Snapdragon 660, 2 gigabytes of RAM, and the GPU needs to be an Adreno 512 or higher, and Android OS 5.0 or higher. Now, keep in mind, you're going to need almost 13 gigabytes of room as well for this software, so you might want to prepare your phones as we only have 3 days to go. I myself am going to be live during the launch of this. You can catch me at twitch.tv/DarthMicrotransaction. Will be pretty easy to find me. In fact, I'll just pull it up and show you real quick. And we're going to be doing a 24-hour stream. If you have any interest in watching to see exactly how far you can get in 24 hours, this here is my webpage. You can find me. It looks like this, Darth Microtransaction on Twitch. Pretty much that simple. I'll also be streaming this live on YouTube at some point as well. So you can hit subscribe or hit the bell, and it will notify you when live streams come up. I love y'all. Thanks for coming by. Hope this information was helpful, and get your phone ready. See it in-game June 1st.